Hello, my name is Olga, and today I would like to talk about differences between individual education and group education, or studying languages in particular, in a group or individually. So if you have this choice in front of you and you're not sure which option is better, study on your own, one-on-one with a tutor or a teacher, or join some group and study there. I hope this video will help you. So the general idea, the difference between individual and group learning is that if your aim is specialized and unusual, or if you are, for some reason, a little bit far from a standard person, so you are unusual or your aim is unusual, then maybe a group is not the best option. Let's discuss different criteria, different parameters, and see what I mean. Time. If you need to solve any language problem fast, like next week you need some results, or in 2 weeks you need to be able to participate in a conference. That's 100% one-on-one tutor, online, offline. So because when you study one-on-one, you can choose the place, the time, the how intensive your classes are, how frequent they are, with one tutor or with 5 tutors, and so on and so forth. And you can hire one person for grammar, one more person for speaking, one more person for lexics, and so on and so forth. So if you need something quick, then individual classes. Or if your aim is very unusual, like IELTS courses are rather widespread. Other international language courses are widespread, but if you want, let's say, to write good emails to your big corporate partner who are a Korean electronics manufacturer, for example, that's a very specific thing, and the chances are that if you join a group, you will very soon notice that you do not move towards your aim, or you move but so slowly that it doesn't make much sense to stay in the group. But if you just want to learn a language, then that's a good choice. Join the group. In a group, it's a little bit more natural because you have other participants. You can do pair work with different partners. You can do small teamwork in teams of 3 or in teams of 4, and then the whole process becomes closer to natural conditions. Because in natural conditions, we use a foreign language with some other people, very often people that you don't know or you do not know well. So, and in this, if you think from this point of view, then it seems very unnatural if you use your English only with one person and nowhere else. You tend, or students tend to form some kind of barrier, because English, this is some kind of game that we play with my teacher and no other people play. Yeah, so, but this is not true. Language is designed for communication, so you have to communicate to study the language. So if you just want to learn the language, learn it in a group. My general recommendation for students, the general plan of studying, is that you study general English, A1, A2. If you're not sure about the levels, have a look at my previous video that was right about the levels. So A1, A2, pre-intermediate, and maybe even intermediate course, so full B1 structure in general English, and then you're ready to specialize. By specialization, I mean that you can study your profession, take some books, just books or textbooks, language textbooks, about medicine if you're a doctor, about architecture if you're an architect, and so on and so forth. So there are multiple books designed for different professions, for aviation, for example, or for any other, where you will take the terminology, some specific situations, dialects there, and so on and so forth. Yeah, so the things that you will never see in a book of a general English or even business English. If you are a pilot, then of course you need some kind of specialized resources. Yeah, so and if your path is like this, then you can take general English usual courses in small groups, A1, A2, B1, and then try to find a specialized group. But if you live somewhere where it's not possible, so there is no language school that teaches pilots, for example, then you will need to hire an individual tutor who will have to deal with your theme, with this kind of topic. And by the way, as a teacher, I can say that usually, very often, almost every time, this is a very interesting experience for the teacher, because you have to dive into some world that you maybe suspect that exists, but you were not sure about that, and now you see it for real, and your students explain how things work in this other world. Interesting. Or alternatively, you can find some kind of online courses, and then they are very likely to be delivered by people who have double education. For example, biologist teaching medicine or something like that. So when the person is not only an English teacher or English tutor, or sometimes not an English teacher and not an English tutor, which is bad, but closer in understanding of the mechanics of your profession. Another thing that can make you think about finding a tutor rather than joining a group is if your level is uneven. I mean that you speak, for example, much better than read or write or listen. Or you can write very beautiful texts, but you cannot speak. And then it will be very difficult for you to find a group that suits your needs. You will come to a group and you will discover that, by texts, and you did some tests and you had some entry conversation with the teacher, and you got to this group that should be good for you. But since your speaking skills are so weak, the group is not good. You need some additional work on your speaking to make it equal to all the other skills. Sometimes it can be like writing skills are C1, speaking skills are B1, all the others are B2. And where should the person go? Yeah, so if the person goes to B2, for example, then speaking parts will be extremely difficult, and reading parts will be extremely easy. So in both situations, there's like a psychological shock, hot water and cold water. So maybe not the best choice. And then you will have to work on separate skills and then join the group, or formulate your aims and not suffer with that. Because if you in this situation with exceptionally good writing skills, if your aim is to write even better, then why do you need to work on the speaking skills? Just to be able to join the group. You don't want the group, you want to be able to write even better. Then work on that and forget about all the rest. At some point you will this aim will come to you that, I need to speak properly, and then you will solve this issue. So with uneven level, maybe it's better to take individual classes, at least temporarily, until you reach the same level, the needed level for this group, let's say. And then there is a big block of psychological things that can make you want to stay out of the group. For example, we all know that people are all different, and it means that we study in different ways. We learn things, we memorize things in various ways, and it's very important to know about yourself how you do that, where you are supposed you tend to have problems, and which things are going to be easy for you. Among teachers, there are such terms as fast learners or first finishers and slow learners. This is not positive or negative. This is a characteristic of the speed. So one person hears something once and that's it. It is frozen in their memory. No need to talk about it 15 times. For some people, you need to do at least 7 different exercises, and then the person starts memorizing the word. And usually if this is a group, then this is something in between. Let's say it's not just say and you are supposed to remember that, and it is not like we spent 3 weeks on learning 10 words. We cannot do that. So in a group, there is some average pace of doing things. And if you feel that you need more work, then you do it on your own, individually with a tutor, or independently. If you feel that this pace is too slow for you, then you talk to the teacher. Maybe you will get some additional tasks or some versions of the tasks, and so on and so forth. But if you know about yourself that you are extremely fast or extremely slow, then maybe it will be comfortable for you, and maybe even for the group, if you studied independently, individually with a tutor, at the speed that is comfortable for you, with such a tempo that is optimal for you. Or in a group, special kind of relationships occur among and between all the students. And if you know that you like meeting new people, hearing new stories, listening to somebody else's experiences and opinions, and you're ready to play games with other people, then a group is a good choice for you. But if you know that other people generally irritate you, and you are not comfortable around whatever other people or some particular type of people, then maybe it's better to stick to one-on-one learning, when the only person who can irritate you is your tutor, and you can just change the teacher if you feel uncomfortable, and that's it. This small thing with learning at your own speed, it can be it can be advantages and disadvantages, both, because if these classes are one-on-one, it means that you set the schedule. You can change the schedule when you need. The classes can be very often or can be very rare, and so on and so forth. But it also means that if you happen to be a little bit demotivated, or your attention is diverted, or something happened in your life and you do not focus on studying the language so much anymore for some period, it can And with you having no classes at all, because this week my mother came for a vacation, next week I was ill, the week after that my kid was ill, then I had no mood, then blah 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 blah, and the result is that you discover that for the past month, let's say, you had 0 classes or 1 class, which is nothing. So in learning languages, regularity and persistence are very, very important. So you need to know what you need from this tool and learn to use this tool and learn consistently. So repeating and repeating, insisting and insisting, and actually starting to use this tool. With a group, there is a program, there is a teacher, there is a school who organizes that. And it means that no matter what, the teacher can be ill, the group can be half on holiday, half ill, whatever, the program should finish on the given date. And everybody will write final test on the given date. And that's it. And this is your task, to organize yourself in such a way that you would come next time and feel comfortable. Not feel that, wow, they are so ahead of me, but feel comfortable. So study. If you need to have a break, we are all adults, we have our lives, and lives are complex. If you need to have a break for whatever reason, study during this break and return with not this gap, but maybe this, yeah, and ask your teacher for more help with getting rid of this gap and catching up with the group. Okay, yep. So that's a big choice, individual classes or group classes. Make your choice wisely and be happy. Likes, subscription, everything.